I have come across an incredible business opportunity, and all I need to secure this and make it happen is a small loan of $500.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Oh, I didn't expect to see that in there. Holy crap! 5 gallons of gasoline, some starting fluid, and a brand new battery, okay?
What did you do?
Well, 60 miles an hour, not bad. Well, that didn't take long. Stuck here on the side of the road. What's up, Radio Shade Tree Surgeon here. I'm going to tell you, it's been a hard day's morning in the lab. This past hour and a half that I've spent filling carts and packing stuff has tuckered me out, man. You got to start early in the morning if you want to get all these carts ready. And an hour and a half into it, it's already 12:15. Morning's over, as far as I'm concerned. It's lunchtime, baby. I feel like we're leaving it in capable hands. Shayleesi is over here, ready to pick up the slack. Sugar Tree J over here, hard at work at the computer. I really just don't want to get in their way. So I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle for my lunch break.
I mean, it's really not a problem. It's not in the way.
No, I'm in the way. Yeah, I'll be back in
an hour, right?
Probably 45 minutes.
Yeah.
An hour?
30-minute break.
30-minute break. An hour and 30 minutes? Anyway, it's been a long morning. Let's go, dude. I've earned my lunch break. And I'll tell you right now, there's no better motorcycle for an hour and a half, 2.5, 3.5, some kind of lunch break. No better motorcycle to escape at a lunch break than the shop truck, aka Hot Fuzz. Oh, come on now. There can't be that much of a difference between high-speed pursuit and high-speed escape, right? Let's stop off for a few lunch break supplies. After all, it would be a disservice to all my friends back in the swamps of Florida if I didn't enjoy this 72-degree lunch break on a motorcycle without a frosty cold beverage. I don't want to insult my friends, do I? An hour-long lunch break? No, let's say an hour and a half lunch break. Well, come on now, it's not a wizard's lunch break without a couple of magic potions, dark incantations from Negro Modelo. The prophecy must be fulfilled, okay? I don't make the rules here, I just obey the prophecy. And it was a dark prophecy, as in prophesizing some Negro Modelo. Now, it's not that I don't love being at work here. There are way worse places to work than Sessions. Filling up those distillate carts for all the good boys and girls here in Oregon and the surrounding PNW states if you like to be on a little adventure. Little bundles of joy heading out into the world, making everybody a little bit happier. Hey, it feels good, man. I was running the vape jet. We were packaging them up. We got new strains coming out, but I had to break free, okay? I don't let myself out to piss, all right? Besides, I spent an entire hour working this morning filling up those carts. I mean, everyone else is here at 6 a.m., but I feel like I get better work done if I come in roundabouts 11. And it's an hour motorcycle ride into the lab and an hour working, so I like to keep the scales balanced. It's back on the bike, baby. All work and no play make Shade Tree Surgeon a dull boy. But I will tell you this, I'm actually on a mission today. I'm on a mission for Sessions. I was doing some Facebook Marketplace cruising this morning when I was on my 15-minute bathroom break during my hour's worth of work, and I think I found something mighty cool. One of my favorite things on there is when somebody says, "Must be gone today if you can make it run." So let's go check it out, baby. We got a new strain coming out called Ice Cream Paint Job with a big old box Chevy on the front, and this might just fit the bill. Here's the only thing I'm really worried about is technically, since, I'm not doing this for me. I'm not cruising Facebook Marketplace for me. I'm doing it for the greater good, for the team, baby, for the team at Sessions and Brapstar. That's why I'm doing it. So is this even really a lunch break? I'm technically still working. I think I could take longer than an hour because I'm technically still at work since I'm doing this for them, right? In fact, I really should be keeping track of my miles so I can turn that invoice in to Sugar Tree J. I don't want to be a stickler, but right is right. If we're out here picking up some Modelos and going to look at a ride that's going to benefit the entire company, I really shouldn't be paying for my own gas, okay? And the wear and tear on the vehicle, too? Come on. It's only right. We are out in the sticks now, boys. That's one thing I love about Oregon, man. There is all sorts of weird vehicles sitting broken down in yards and farms and alleys and every which way out here. And I don't mind something that needs a little bit of TLC. After all, I need a whole lot of it myself. Ask any of my ex-girlfriends. Yeah, definitely gonna need that mileage turned in. We're putting a lot of wear and tear on this for the company, okay? Actually, now that I think about it, I think that Sessions and Brapstar actually own this motorcycle. I don't technically own it, but I mean, I'm putting the wear and tear on it, so I feel like I should get paid for the wear and tear. I'm not sure how that works, but it sounds good to me. I'm taking the long way to get there. I'm just taking the long way real fast. Now, I don't know if anybody's gonna try and beat me to this thing. I know that a lot of times when you get these, like, you better be here today or it's gone deals, you are racing those Facebook Marketplace vultures to the find. But I'll tell you this, when it comes to vultures, I definitely am one, so I might be there first. So what we're going to look at, theoretically, is a 1977 Cadillac, and boy, I love me a vintage box Chevy, and believe it or not, old Cadillacs, they're one of the cheapest ways to get into a box Chevy because all the Caprices have already gotten bought up. They're hard to find, and when you do find them, people are asking a mint for them.
Oh my God! Bruh.
And the 77 Cadillacs, man, that's just about when Cadillacs stopped trying. Back in the day, Caddy used to really try to make their cars look different, but 70s, early 80s, they were just rebadged Caprices with leather seats.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
Which, if you were buying one back then, kind of sucked, but right now, because what I really want is a box Chevy, it's a good thing. But this one looked a little funny in the pictures on Facebook Marketplace. So it looked like either somebody tried to turn it into a donk. If you don't know what a donk is, I don't know if it's just a Florida thing. It's the giant wagon wheels, you know, big speakers, big engine. So it's either somebody tried to turn it into a donk or strange things are afoot underneath this 77 Cadillac. Let's go find out which one it is and if we can even make this thing run. Or possibly just tow it out with the KZ-1000. I spy with my little eye past a bunch of no trespassing signs. A giant shitbox. It's beautiful. Well, I guess beauty's in the eye of the beer holder, so it's making me do some things I wouldn't normally do, and I definitely don't recommend. Now, normally something like this would be too big of a red flag, even for me, a known ignorer of red flags, both in vehicles and in the fairer sex, but I think we might risk it for this one. So here's the deal. Whoever owns this car, or at least the person claiming to own this car, or maybe just owns a property that's currently occupying, says I cannot start working on it or checking it out until I actually pay them for it. I guess the idea is they're worried that I'll mess it up. I don't know how I could mess it up any further, or I don't know what they're worried about, but not allowed to mess with it until I actually pay for the car in full. Luckily, it's not a whole lot of money. Normally, I would never recommend doing this. You should never be so careless with your own money to put it on something that is a complete unknown like that car is. I know nothing about it. I don't know what's under the hood. I don't even know if there is an engine underneath the hood. Disclaimer right now, do not use your own money to purchase an unknown vehicle. Now, taking those chances with somebody else's money, you know, I might be able to get behind that.
What's happening?
Hey man, no worries, nothing bad. I have come across, let's say, an incredible business opportunity that has your name written all over it, and all I need to secure this and make it happen is a small loan of $500.
Is it bike?
A business opportunity. A business opportunity. Yeah. You know what? You're gonna have to trust me on this one. All I need is $500. I promise we'll probably triple it, quadruple it, possibly even quintuple it very easily.
Yeah, of course.
That's what friends are for, baby. Looks like we just got ourselves a Cadillac. Time to celebrate. Let's go ahead and put some eyes on our new luxury vehicle.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Oh, I didn't expect to see that in there. Holy crap. Well, I have not looked underneath the car yet, but I don't think it's a donk. So let's see if you guys are as surprised as I was when I opened the door and saw that. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this thing. I think there's a lot more going on underneath it than first meets the eye. Luxurious leather. I think it's just getting broken in, but we're not gonna worry about that. We're also not gonna worry about that. We've got a key in the ignition. That's always a good sign. Supposedly there's a title in here somewhere too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think that they made any four-wheel drive Cadillacs before the Escalade, but I could be wrong, so I don't know what the title is going to say on it. Fingers crossed it actually says Cadillac, because that's what it looks like from the outside at least. Whoa, whoa! Dude, we got a really good deal. This is a custom-built Cadillac by Fisher Body. Now, did Fisher Body make it four-wheel drive, or did somebody else? Driver's door opens. That's a good sign. The rear door, the body's actually pretty straight, man. I mean, it could be all Bondo for all I know, but... Oh, wait. Yeah, it's probably got a lot of Bondo on it, but hey, at least it doesn't look bad. I think this would have originally had a Landau top. I think, those leather ones, but I'm glad it's not on there. Those things are freaking stupid. Although I guess we're just left with this rusty mess because it doesn't have one on there. Got a free battery in the back seat. That's nice. Free projector, some various other accoutrements for a luxurious lifestyle as befitting a Cadillac owner. Heavy duty engine cleaner. Hopefully that means there's an engine in there. I haven't looked yet. I count it as an immediate win that all the doors open and all the glass is in the windows right away. Again, we find signs that there may be an actual engine underneath this because we got an air cleaner over here. Anything in the glove box? 1977 registration, that tracks. October 2010, the last time it was registered. That also tracks. Pure luxury, baby. Oh, well, would you look at that? Another sign that there's probably an engine under there somewhere. We got a big leaf spring straight axle out back, which is not weird for a Cadillac. I think they would have had this back then. I know some of these older Cadillacs were front wheel drive, but I believe that was only the coupes. I think that these ones built on the Caprice platform, because it essentially was just a gussied up Caprice, were still rear wheel drive. So not weird to see an axle back there, but it does have a transfer case. Let's see if there's an axle up front. Well, boys, yeah, we even got an axle up front. Let's see exactly what we got going on underneath here. I mean, I've seen worse engine compartments, right? We got a Holley carburetor. We have some wiring, no battery. Well, we got the battery in the back. Maybe that'll, yeah, maybe that'll hold a charge. I mean, to be honest with you, the engine doesn't look that bad, but you know, there's a lot of wires that are going nowhere. Who knows what works or doesn't work on this. Let's start with the simple stuff and see if there's any oil in it. Let's start with the simple stuff and see if we can find a dipstick. Holy crap, where is it? What engine is this? What do we have? What is this? Eureka! Let's see here. It's got oil in it, or at least there's oil on the dipstick. That's promising. Stuff like this isn't. Got a lot of custom jobs on this, man. Very custom vehicle, four-wheel drive Cadillac. What is this freaking engine, dude? I feel like I'm some sort of Mad Max Wastelander right now, just slowly uncovering this, hoping to find some gem of an engine, some ancient and weary interceptor used by the elders who came before, lost to time, waiting for someone to pull the sword from the stone, waiting for the prophecy to be fulfilled, waiting for me. Definitely not what I expected to read here. This is probably not going to show up, but that says international on it. Yeah, no, that definitely says international on the valve cover. And the entire thing is just painted red. That's got to be a sign here somewhere. I know that International did make four-wheel drive vehicles for a while. The International Scout.
I see you bought a new car.
This isn't just a car, it's a Scout. Come on.
You traded our station wagon?
Wait till you try the four-wheel drive. Try that in the car.
Oh, Scout handles beautifully. And I can see over the cars.
Honey, my new Scout is more than a car.
Your new Scout?
Scout. Anything less is just a car.
International Scout was kind of like a competitor for the Jeep. Kind of like a smaller Bronco back when they made the Bronco really big, but it used to be small, but that's what a Scout looked like. Anyway, big, small, big, small. The Scout was kind of ahead of its time as far as being a small sport utility vehicle. But is this actually a Scout? Is it just an International V8? How would you even tell? All right, well, I'm gonna have to crawl, and hopefully this isn't full of ants or spiders or scorpions. What do they have in Oregon? I'm not sure. I'm gonna crawl under there, see if this thing moves. And if it does turn free, I think I'm gonna go ahead and phone a friend. All right, check back in a sec. Okay, over here on the shade side of the vehicle. I don't know what the heck is up with Oregon that it can both be freezing cold and blazing hot at the same time. Like over here in the shade, I'm almost starting to shiver. And then when I stand in the sun, I feel like I'm gonna have a heat stroke. The Pacific Northwest is a weird place, but hey, this is a weird vehicle and we like weird around here. I'm gonna go ahead and phone a friend and call up Shayleesi to get over here with some tools, a battery, and other accoutrements to make this thing move, because I think we can make this work. Well, I hope we can make it work anyway, because I already spent Jason's money on it. So one way or another, it's ours. Well, I guess it isn't mine if we can't leave with it. Well, does it technically belong to Jason? I'm not sure. Is it Sessions' vehicle? Is it Brapstar? Shayleesi is the one bringing the tools. Maybe it's hers, but I'm the one who found it and actually gave the money to the guy. The most important question is, when I drive it home, am I still going to be able to claim the miles on my paycheck? When we drive it home. When. So you got to think positively, baby.
Hey, sorry I missed your call. I put my phone on silent just in case my phone.
No worries. So here's what I need from you. I don't have time for questions. I just need you to meet me at the pin location I'm going to send you with 5 gallons of gasoline, some starting fluid, and a brand new battery, okay?
Are we finally summoning the demons?
Yeah, something like that. Just hurry up and get here, okay? I know I can count on you. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you soon. Hurry up. Bye, 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 bye. I know, come soon. Bye. All right, I think we got her. I really was trying to put the fear of Bob into Shayleesi over there, because I don't know how much longer this guy is going to give me in his field before he says my time is up. And I don't know if I'm going to get my money back if he decides that. I'd prefer to be gone with the title before he even comes back and looks for me. But until then, at least I've got lunch. Shayleesi to the rescue.
What did you do?
Well, as of right now, I haven't done anything yet. I was waiting for you to come help me out. Well, look, it matches your cowboy hat. Sort of. All right, so here's the deal, Shayleesi. I have used a certain amount of funds, a small loan I procured as a business investment in order to get this car, but I wasn't allowed to work on it or touch anything until I paid for it in full. That's why I needed you with some fresh gasoline, a fresh battery, a bottle full of starting fluid, and a can-do attitude.
Can always count on me to have all those things in my tiny little purse.
All right, so what do you think? Haven't you always wanted a Cadillac?
This is a car and not a truck?
First I thought it was a donk, but it's not. It's 4-wheel drive. It's a truck, but it's not. It's a car.
So I don't have a donk.
It's a truck. Well, I mean, we could put some donk rims on it and it would be just a 4-wheel drive donk.
I was making a joke because I have a small bum.
Oh, I missed that one. Well, you make up for it in other places.
I like it. I've never had a shitbox.
Who said, what's this we stuff, okay?
What do you mean?
I procured a business loan from a third-party investor.
Yeah, but
in order to...
You always say, if we find a stray and it gets in the car, I get to keep it.
Yeah, so?
So now I'm the stray and I'm getting in the car and I get to keep it.
Wait, what? No, hold on.
Oh, I don't know if I want to sit in that. That looks like,
Yeah, dude, unless you're ready to get fresh with some scorpions.
Spider.
There's some scorpions and spiders under there that I really appreciate that mini skirt, but I don't know if you want that kind of attention.
I do. Just not from a spider.
Well, beggars can't be choosers, okay? Dude, if I gotta lug this battery all the way from the truck, you gotta frickin' do something. Pop the hood. Claim part ownership of the Cadillac.
Do I go inside to pop the hood, or
No,
is
it's
it
already popped.
Okay. I was like, it looks.
I mean, lift the hood. This battery's heavy.
The hood is heavy. Does it just stay up?
Hopefully.
Cool.
We put some fresh gasoline in it, but I don't even know if the fuel pump exists, let alone works.
Where would a fuel pump be in a car?
Let's go ahead and, it could be many different places. Let's go ahead and hook up to the battery and see if it catches on fire.
Is that what we want to happen?
Well, I guess I should have looked at this a little harder and asked you to bring some other stuff. I made a slight miscalculation. And when I say slight miscalculation, I mean Shay didn't bring everything we needed. Now, I didn't tell her to bring everything we needed, but still, the blame's got to lie somewhere, and she didn't bring everything we needed. I didn't notice that this battery cable over here was missing a key component.
I don't know what you're talking about. I brought the can-do attitude.
It is actually in there. Never mind. We're good, baby, we're good. Maybe. So, we've got our negative terminal, I hope. Somebody spray painted this one red, so I assume it's the positive. But I will tell you, it has seen better days. Can we still make this work? Well, I don't know. I don't even know if the engine works. I mean, it has oil in it. That's a good first start, but let's see if we can go ahead and smash this in there enough to get it off this piece of property. Second problem. This battery is too powerful for this space.
You didn't say what kind of battery to bring. You just said a battery.
We did that. We got a battery.
Whoa, whoa, the fluids.
The fluids. Oh, not my precious fluids. Let's see if we can jam this in here somehow without creating a connection between the battery and the body. Or the battery and the alternator. That's pretty close too. Wait, which one is not supposed to touch? The plus or the minus?
What's an alternator?
I don't fucking know, dude. I just know the name. Sounds cool until you ask what it is or what it does.
It sounds like something maybe like an alternative person would wear.
Okay, now if I take this and jam it in between there, we've got about a 1/2 inch clearance between this and the alternator pulley.
That's all you need.
I think that ought to work just fine. Did you bring any girl hammers?
I brought the can-do attitude. I think that's supplemental for everything I forgot or wasn't told to bring.
You know what? I have taught you well. I have raised you right. There's always an excuse.
It's that's really an excuse and more like an explanation of what happened.
She's become too powerful. Well, the battery's hooked up. We have a key. Let's see what happens next.
Do we get to crank the hog now?
Well, that's a hog, but then also,
well, like, is it?
Boss Hog drove a Cadillac, so.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it makes a similar sound of like.
Yeah, let's crank it. Well, go ahead and just don't crank the hog just yet, but turn the key on.
You said.
We will get to some hog cranking later, trust me. Just turn the key on.
It is on. It's not on fire, so I don't know if we did it right.
You're right. Suspicious lack of flames.
This car could use some flames.
All right, let me get in here.
No, I touched it last.
Death touched it last. Okay, now the key's on. The windshield wipers work.
Dude, no. Turn them off. I'm gonna need to go back to my enclosure.
That's the most annoying sound in the world. Who would have thought it had windshield wipers that worked?
Is that something that usually isn't working?
Well, what do you expect to work on this car?
I don't know what I'm expected not to work on.
Nothing. We don't expect it to even
not
start,
to work on the car. I don't understand.
It's a car in a field, Shay. The fact that it has windshield wipers and when we hooked up a battery, they work is actually a really good sign. Well, I don't know if it's a sign. The screeching sound was probably not a good sign. It's got oil. Let's see if...
It has oil in it?
Yeah, it had oil in it.
Okay, now I'm shocked. That's where I draw the line.
That's just mostly
That's where I draw the line.
We're technically in
my
possession
vehicles
of it.
don't have oil in them and they're not in a field. Oh, shut up.
Oh, get it the fuck out of here, dude.
What the fuck did I bring the starting fluid for?
I don't know. I didn't expect that to happen. I really didn't. The guy said it ran when parked. I just didn't believe him.
Why would you? I trust no man.
Well, when it comes to like, you got to get this out of here today, it ran when parked. I didn't. Okay, that was a genuine moment of shock. I didn't expect it to fire up like that.
It has to be out of here today. Is there like a dead body in the trunk or something?
I haven't checked the trunk.
Should we check the trunk?
We should probably check the trunk.
I don't want to check the trunk. Don't make me check the trunk.
Pull up the trunk. We're not messing with that. That's a problem for another day. Actually, that's a problem for somebody's therapist. Okay, let's give this thing just a little bit of encouragement, but I am actually pretty encouraged right now.
You're doing a great job.
This is not what I expected to happen. All right, go ahead and crank the hog. That's what you wanted. Give it some gas, crank it. Uh-oh.
I'm small.
You got to get in it with your mini skirt. Get all the way in there. Go ahead, sit down. No one's gonna mind.
going.
That's the part of the bug's life that they didn't show you. Cut for time. All right, crank it. Come on, crank it. You gotta be kidding me. Well, I guess we just got ourselves a Cadillac. If it goes in gear anyway. Make sure we're not going to close the hood on the battery terminals. That would be bad. Let's see if this thing drives well enough to get it back to Dab Factory. Yeah, speaking of.
Listen, I'm a ride or die, but I run for no man. I ain't ran from nothing but the police, okay?
It's kind of hard to run when you're not wearing the proper equipment. That's a boob joke.
Oh.
All right, hop out.
Never!
I guess I could have you follow me in the truck, but come on, let's take our first ride together. Don't worry, I can just clear this off for you.
You're supposed to say just throw that in the back. Bro, you can't even like lay a towel down for a girl?
Actually, can you lift the hood and spray some more starting fluid in it? Please?
Yes, but only because you asked like a bitch.
Wait, no. All right, spray it in there. All right, don't close it all the way. I'm not sure if it'll hit the battery if we close it all the way.
You didn't say!
Yeah. So if we close it all the way, it might hit the battery posts and melt.
Well, it's too late now!
We need to get out of here and get back before he tries to sell my KZ1000 on top of everything else. Power steering? I wouldn't have expected that.
I'm laying my jacket down because ew.
Window? Dude, the window!
Oh, shut up.
The window works!
Not mine, though.
Oh, well, my window works!
Guys say they know a place to take you here. Yeah, let's go.
Here, hold the camera.
I'm so sweaty. And not in a sexy way, like in a swamp-ass kind of way.
In a sweaty way.
Yeah. If I get bit by a spider, dude.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Give it some fucking gas, dude. Is it a four-wheel drive or not?
Yeah, it is four-wheel drive, but I have to check to see if the four-wheel drive works yet.
Something just is or isn't four-wheel drive.
Well, an engine is an engine, but does it run?
I don't know. It's so hot in here.
Dude, it moves.
When I move, you move. Just like that? Hell yeah.
Mark.
Hey, DJ, bring that back. How you ain't gon' fuck? Bitch, I'm me. I'm the goddamn reason you in VIP.
It runs. Wait, does it stop?
I don't know.
Okay, no, it stops, dude. Dude, it stops. The window kind of rolls down. Yo, let me try the AC.
Really? Are you joking? Is there AC?
Yeah, I'm joking. No, there's no AC.
Dude, this thing is built different, but like in the Boeing kind of way.
The last registration says 2010, so at least 14 years if it ran the last time they registered it.
I was 15 in 2010.
It's been running for like 30 seconds. There's no way it's overheating.
Ooh.
I mean, unless
Does
there's
it say-
absolutely no
does it-
coolant. I should have checked the coolant,
Does
actually.
it say it's overheating?
It says coolant temperature.
Okay.
Maybe that means there is a temperature.
I'm overheating a little bit.
This would be a bad place to break down.
I would leave you. Not my caddy anymore.
How would we
You touched
push
it last. You touched it last.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, it is how it works. One time I tried to, I found a stray dog and I asked a cop what to do with it. And he said, well, you touched it last.
That's a funny cop. The cop is hilarious. The Cadillac's up at Sessions right now. It did make it. I don't know if there is actually any coolant in here. Definitely got to get a slightly shorter battery. And I will say that the tires, even though we drove it here, I don't know how much further I trust them. Let's get that sorted out. And when it comes to strange amalgamations of vehicles left to rot in a field, there's only one place to visit: the Adeptus Mechanicus, aka the People's Republic of Harbor Freight. Currently a hover car. Let's throw some D's on this bitch.
Wait, is that what that's about?
I don't know. I think D's is like some kind of rim, like something like a dub.
Like, yo, your bitch is flat-chested. Throw some D's on that bitch.
I'm not here to argue. Whatever D's you like, go ahead and let them flop out. I couldn't believe this thing had disc brakes in the front. I thought for sure it was drum. why wouldn't it start right up? And we got our fingers crossed for the Power Pig today. Hot Fuzz wasn't doing so hot last night. Now, it did eventually get me home, but 6 stops on the side of the highway, luckily with some ether in one of the saddlebags so I could get it going again as the sun was going down. And let me tell you, the next thing on the list for this motorcycle, besides figuring out whatever the hell was making it break down last night, is definitely some better lighting. 1980s technology when it comes to Oregon back roads is not cutting it. And at the very least, I gotta have an LED tail light, because pulled over on the side of a back road in the pitch black dark with that incandescent bulb in the back did not exactly fill me full of confidence for someone seeing me. Whoa, whoa, puppies. There goes a piggy. All right then. All right. Welcome to the sticks of Oregon. Good morning. No, the Cadillac was not a fever dream, though it still feels like one. Got our new to me rubber on this thing. It just says Radial SXT Dean on them. I don't know if there's an actual brand of these things or if they're off brand, but for 300 bucks for the entire set of 4, I'm not complaining. They are used, but I got them for cheap because somebody had them drilled for spikes. It's in the tread, but I don't see how it's going to do anything because it doesn't go that deep in the tread. And I don't know, man. We're going to run them. Maybe someone out there who knows more about snow-rated tires knows if this is a bad idea, but on the Cadillac, the entire thing's a bad idea. As far as under the hood goes, I'm still not sure exactly what kind of V8 this is. I know it's out of an International, I assume a Scout, but I actually don't know. I'm going to have to learn a little more about International engines before I figure out what the heck this is, but I do know it has a Holley carburetor on it. We're having some problems with startup. It's got a mechanical fuel pump, though the fuel tank is from the Cadillac body that's on it. So I don't know if that fuel pump has enough ass to bring fuel all the way back from that tank, because we have to start it on ether. It won't actually start on its own. The choke has some issues, sure, but even once it's hot, it won't start on its own. So it's not getting enough fuel in there to start, but it does get enough fuel once it's running. Now, it looks like the previous owner has taken some steps to remedy this, but I don't know if they're actually working. I hate to be a negative Nancy, but you know, the eye is kind of drawn to this art installation right here. We follow these wires back, and we don't have to go very far because they end right down here under the wheel well with a Holley inline fuel pump. Now, we still got some unknowns here because I don't know if this Holley fuel pump was put in because the mechanical fuel pump on the side of the engine doesn't work at all. I don't know if it was put in because the mechanical fuel pump doesn't have enough ass to bring the fuel in from the Cadillac fuel tank. I'm not sure why it was put in. I'm also not sure if it's working at all, but the wiring suggests that it was needed at some point. So I'm gonna get a voltmeter, test it, try to get power to it, and see if that's what's needed to actually get the car started, or if it actually needs to be running while the car is running, because I haven't really put this car through its paces to see if it can do, like, you know, 55, 60 miles an hour, which is probably gonna be pretty dangerous. But if it's not getting enough fuel into the carburetor, it's probably not gonna be able to sustain any kind of higher RPM for any sort of time. Maybe we actually need that. So I assume it's on there for a reason. We're gonna try to make it work. We got our shopping list. We need some wiring, some butt connectors, some heat shrink, a voltmeter, and even though there's an air cleaner in there, I'm gonna go ahead and grab just a whole other air cleaner for this thing because it's cheaper than trying to find the parts I need to make the original air cleaner, if that even is the original air cleaner in there, work. All right, let's hop on Hot Fuzz. There we go. The Power Pig to swerve and protect. And right now, acting as the official shop truck for the as yet unnamed amalgamation of parts Cadillac / International Harvester, the sausage of automobiles. It's like if a turducken was a vehicle, okay? Let's see if we can get it into some sort of shape where we can at least semi-reliably drive it around and start it. Honestly, it actually starts pretty reliably right now. You just need a can of ether to do it. The People's Republic of Harbor Freight, the Adeptus Mechanicus, the only place where this many things was still only 25 bucks. Might all be Chinese garbage, but it is what it is. There's very few places left around anywhere in America where you can get out with a bag full of items for under $100. Speaking of under 100 bucks, they had a knockoff one from Mr. Gasket, and it was only 20 bucks. So that's the one that's going on the Caddy. The one that said Edelbrock on it had a fancy wing nut to screw on the top. Oh, quiet you. And it was a little bit bigger, but it looked a lot like this one, except it was $80 instead of $20. And I might have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. I ain't about to pay 4 times as much for something just because it says Edelbrock on it, and that doesn't fit. Hell yeah. Well, the fact that it was $20 might be coming to bite me in the ass. That was pretty dumb. Maybe we can still make this work though. Okay, that's gonna fit on there. All right, I think this is gonna work. It's gonna be ugly as sin, but it's gonna work. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not any uglier or any prettier than the rest of the car. That'll do for now. Just need to keep the dust out of it. It ain't stupid if it works, right? Right. Talk about a deal. The Adeptus Mechanicus got us a digital multimeter with coupon $4. I don't even know if you can get a 9-volt battery if this battery actually goes bad in this thing at Walmart for $4. So literally, if the battery in this goes bad, you might as well just buy another multimeter. Trust me, I get that being a throwaway culture is not a good thing for the long haul, but come on, dude. I can't say no to this. Okay, let's figure out this fuel pump down here. I've never messed around with one of these before, but a pump's a pump, right? I mean, you got ground and you got power, right? What else do you need? Well, I got this thing freed up as I thought. There's only a positive and a ground going in here. We've only got a 2-wire system, so I assume everything to control this turning on and off is internal. Maybe some sort of pressure sensor or something on this end when it's got enough fuel in there, stops needing to pull fuel. Maybe that turns it off. I'm not really sure, but going up here to these 2 red wires coming up here, we got our ground right here to a white wire, to a red wire, red to pink to red, and this might have been red at some point. Let's see where they go upstairs. Yeah, these are 2 wires right here, both going to this wire, which is connected to the positive lead, and then this one is going up there somewhere, going inside there. So let's go into the ignition, but we don't have a wire to ground. Let's go ahead and test the wires coming out down here and see exactly what we got going on. Should be my ground wire right here, hooked up to the positive battery terminal. Let's go ahead and pull that off, hook it up to ground, and see if we get anything from that fuel pump over there. Blue painter's tape is really not what I wanted to find on my electrical connections down here, but it's what we got. Well, I just stuck my leads on these guys. I'm getting a negative reading on here, which means somewhere either these are smashed together or crossed up or something. Okay, yeah, the wires were smashed together. Now, I don't know if you can hear that, but the fuel pump at least is clicking, so that's a good sign. Fuel pump hooked up. Obviously, we can't leave it that way because it's just chattering away down there. No ether on the carb. We should be able to, yeah, I'd say it's pumping fuel in because it's pumping too much fuel in. So now we should be able to start it without spraying ether in it, if we haven't already flooded it. There we go. Now I just got to wire that fuel pump in to where it is only on when the ignition is on. All right, let's go put some gas in this thing. Hasn't been registered in almost 2 decades, but I'm armed with the title, so hopefully any police will be understanding when I lie to them and say I just bought it. Seems to be running a lot better now that that secondary fuel pump is in there. Again, I don't know if that's just because the old mechanical fuel pump is not up to the task of moving fuel as far as it needs to go down the body of this long Cadillac, or if just that mechanical fuel pump is shot and it's just relying on the electric one. But it's running way better. It was falling on its face before this, which if it wasn't getting enough fuel into the carburetor, makes a lot of sense. Moving now. Can we stop? Yeah, we can stop. The brakes actually work. Well, I mean, they work. They work. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Here, of course, the speedometer doesn't work, but when I'm getting on it, what I'm noticing is that it's kind of, the kick down on the transmission is going back and forth. Like it's just kind of going back and forth in between first and second gear. I don't know enough about this. Could need a kick down cable, could be messed up. I'm not sure what, but it seems to want to kind of like jump directly into 3rd gear right away. Uh-oh, it's the fuzz. They've got bigger fish to fry today, apparently. I'm in a car wash, which seems pretty counterintuitive with this vehicle, but I will tell you this, I'm trying to not get pulled over right now, and even though I'm not going to do much for the paint to make it look any nicer, I can at least knock all the dust leaves and other crap off this thing, so it looks a little less abandoned and a little less suspicious. Hopefully the dirt ain't the only thing holding this thing together. Yep, the gas station attendant is pointing and laughing at me. Now, I ain't exactly a rocket surgeon when it comes to car carburetors. I'm used to dealing with motorcycles, but I know enough to know that something ain't right here. I mean, something's not right with the whole car, but something definitely ain't right with the carburetor. Like I said, I don't know much about these, but I can see that this vacuum actuated butterfly up there, it's not really doing what it's supposed to. It'll kind of open up when you get on it, but it's not closing all the way, so it's just falling on its face because it's got too much air in there. Now, if I physically hold it closed with my hands, after I tune the idle adjustment screws here on either side, I don't have a vacuum gauge. Anyway, I think that probably that little vacuum diaphragm right there is probably buggered up or something, or maybe it's something down in those springs down there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little more research on it because I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know about car carburetors, but I do have a cell phone and YouTube, so I think I can figure out what I need to know about car carburetors. How hard could it be? Duty is not actually calling. The podcast is calling. It's time to record another episode of the Sessions podcast with my man and investor in said Cadillac, Sugar Tree J. He has yet to see it. Let's go ahead and record the podcast first and get him in a better mood before he sees his investment level Cadillac over here. If you're not following Sessions podcast, I'll have a link down below. We're gonna go record an episode now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, but if you really enjoyed it and you would like to know more, go check out this episode of the Sessions podcast. We're of course gonna be talking about classic cars, classic motorcycles, and how they're absolute horrendous money pits that will break your heart, but we love them anyway. Back on the attack with the Cadillac, baby. I've been doing my research. I went to YouTube University on carburetors and I found out how this thing works, and more importantly than how it works, why it's not working. You see, there's a spring down there that the vacuum has to overcome in order to open up the secondaries, and it's not sprung. The spring springs, but it's not sprung to the arm. I don't know why it's off of there, but that definitely would make all the tuning I was doing to the air mixture yesterday pretty useless. So let's get that back on there and then try to tune the carb again. I'm tuning it by ear, of course. I don't have a vacuum gauge here, but I should be able to tune a carburetor by ear, especially one on an engine as simple as this. You would hope that I could on one as simple as this. You would hope. Another question is am I gonna be able to reach in here to do this? Luckily, the Caddy engine bay is probably even larger than the Scout's was. Yeah, it looks like this is actually gonna have to come apart for me to get it in there. Looks like it comes apart pretty easy as long as I don't lose this insanely tiny little circlip on here, which is definitely going to be a possibility. Okay, let's not lose that little thing. Hopefully there wasn't a reason that it was disconnected, although I guess it'll be pretty apparent because these springs can be different rates. So it might have been too powerful a spring for this. Oh, come on, man. Where'd that just, there we go. Infinitesimally small circlip. Now, how am I gonna get this on here without freaking shooting it across this thing like a potato chip? Ridiculously small. Now, let's see if that spring was way too powerful for this and it's not gonna run at all now. That might have been the case. That might have been why I was off there and not using the secondaries anyway. Let's open up this idle a little bit. Much better. Okay, just went for a little test ride. Didn't exactly go as planned. It's closing completely up there, blocking off all flow once I hit full throttle. Now, I don't know if maybe that vacuum diaphragm and the side thing there is bad. Again, I just don't know enough about car carburetors. YouTube University has helped me a little bit, but I've not taken the full semester yet. And I have no hands-on practical experience. Motorcycle carbs, no problem. Car carbs, they should technically be simpler, but you don't know what you don't know. Now, I did go and look on the other side. I'm sure all you car guys will correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like there's a adjustment for that secondary right here on this side, that maybe that adjustment is out of whack. So I'm going to try to adjust it to where it's open, because basically it's closing completely when you let off the gas. And yeah, that's no good. After fiddling with the carburetor for a while, what I've realized is, even though I don't know what I'm doing, I know a little more now, and that thing is just slap wore out. So now I've got a decision to make. Maybe one of you guys can help me a little bit. I can either replace the parts that are on it. I think it needs a new vacuum diaphragm, and also needs a few other things. The choke is messed up. Anyway, the carburetor basically kind of needs to be rebuilt. But on Amazon, you can get a Chinese knockoff of a Holly for less than it costs to rebuild an actual Holly. I don't have any experience with them, but maybe one of you guys do and can let me know what the right move to make is. Either way, I'm going to have to spend a little money on this $500 car. Who would have thunk it? We got this car because it matches the cover art to Ice Cream Paint Job, the box Chevy on there done by Conrad, a hot box. Doesn't have twin turbos yet, but seeing as it fits with the theme, might as well load some Ice Cream Paint Job into these vapes. I'm really excited to get these filled, get them out to stores. As you guys know, me and Shay Lisi will go down to the farm, to Sugar Tree Farm, in fact, and we kind of hand pick some strains down there that are going to be parts of the Sessions and Brapstar collaboration. Ice Cream Paint Job was one of those, not because we had that Caddy. Believe it or not, the green came before the lean in this one, and we got the Cadillac afterwards. We just happen to be huge fans of the song, specifically the remix by Girl Talk, which is on heavy rotation when we're riding motorcycles way too fast on very sketchy roads in the middle of nowhere in the pitch black night. Now we get to blast the song while also having some Ice Cream Paint Job in some of these vapes, and blast down mountain roads in a very sketchy four-wheel drive Cadillac in the middle of the night. This stuff's hitting the shelves soon, and I'll probably do a little less yapping and a little more filling the carts, because let me tell you what, they never stop innovating here at Sessions. They never stop doing things better. And I know a lot of you guys out there have had the previous strains we've done: Raspberry Buffet, Big Twin, Space Truckin', Pondering the Orb, Whiskey Throttle, of course, and we are bringing some of those back. Some of them are going to be one time only. Some of them are going to come back for a limited time. But I'll tell you, we had a great response on those. Everybody loved them. And if you love those, these new ones are going to blow your socks off. It's head and shoulders better than the old stuff. And the old stuff wasn't bad. The old stuff, I still think, was better than anything that's ever been on the market in the entire world. And this stuff puts its dick in the dirt. So keep your eyes peeled at your local dispo, and make sure you ask your local bud tender to put in an order for some Sessions on LeafLink. Me and Shay Lisi are slowly oozing our way across the state of Oregon. So if you don't see it in a store near you, well, baby, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Let me know. It's not going to hurt my feelings to take a long ride on the Power Pig and drop off some carts for the good boys and girls of the PNW. Well, if you believe the GPS speedometer, we're going 55 miles now, 56. Things seem pretty calm so far, but I'm trying to leave some room for error in this thing, both in the brakes, the engine, maybe parts leaving us. Yeah, we might need a little room for grace on the old 4x4 Cadillac, baby, so I'm trying not to push things too hard, though. 60 miles an hour, not bad. Well, that didn't take long. Stuck here on the side of the road. Unsurprisingly, to everyone but me, I'm always still consistently, completely flabbergasted, shocked, taken aback, and disbelieving whenever these horrendous, unproven, cobbled together shit boxes that I end up in or on and driving through remote places end up breaking down. I'm a reckless optimist. It's surprising to me every single time. It wasn't actually the engine though. The engine on this thing is fine. It was the throttle cable. So what do you do when you're in a trash heap of a car and you're stuck on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, Oregon, and your throttle cable breaks? Well, you go digging through the trash heap, and I think we might have a solution. Maybe. Maybe. More unlikely things have happened, right? Right. Let's hit the road. All right. What's the worst that could happen? Don't answer that. I'm not looking for answers. I'm not looking for solutions. Unless the solutions are a throttle cable. And I got that one already. Okay, it's working. Although holding on to the steering wheel, my throttle cable, and navigating these roads right now isn't exactly conducive to filming. But we are making forward progress. We're making forward progress. We'll take that as a win, okay? We'll take it as a win. Now let's see if we can get through this. So far, so good. It's doing something approaching working, I think. It just takes quite a bit of, whoa, all right. I don't want to let go of it too much because it takes a whole lot of force to get it going again, but you know, with these roads, you can't exactly go ramming speed through them, okay? Come on, come on. There we go. I think we're doing it, baby. Oh my God, now I'm blinded by the sun. It could get worse. It could always get worse. Hey, at least all of this is happening to me in a Cadillac. Feels good, baby. I finally know I've made it. Oh crap. All right, we gotta pay attention. Holy mackerel. Woohoo! All right, now let's give it some gas. It's working, okay? It's working. I think it's working anyway. We're moving, we're closer than we were before. That's gotta count for something, right? At least now we can do a little bit of coasting. All right, I better put the camera down, check back in a little while. We still got plenty of curvy roads to go.
We're about 3 weeks later after I last saw you.
Or at least the continuity team forgot to tell me to shave my beard. So we're a few weeks later, there's a little hurricane back in Tampa, so me and Shay Lisi flew back there to deal with this. But we are back in Oregon with Sugar Tree Jay back here. And let me tell you, ice cream paint job, among with all the other new strains coming out right now, have in the last month taken leaps and bounds over what was already an amazing product. I'm gonna take you guys through a couple of the steps here, but what's coming out on the market, I'm probably gonna be exactly the opposite of the Cadillac. Still coming in at a price point that's probably gonna make everyone else weep. And not weep tears of joy, trust me. Only the customers are gonna be happy about this one.
Just light years above anything we've done in the past. That's the difference between live and cured resin, right?
Yeah.
Capturing everything right fresh from the plant.
A bunch of little steps come together to make the perfect product. There ain't one secret. It's doing every single secret that's a pain in the ass and expensive to do is what makes a good product.
And at this point, that's easy to say. It ain't the best in Oregon. I'm talking about the best in the entire globe. And if you don't believe me, come down and prove me wrong. Sometimes when you're a part of every single process, I can't let Jason do it and not do it myself. And sometimes you're a part of the process, you gotta freeze your ass off.
Yeah, a little chilly in here, but you know, it's how we keep this shit frozen.
So here's the thing about what we're doing right now is, and I know it looks like frozen spinach right now, the reason why Sessions product is so much better than everybody else's stuff, this stuff goes from being connected to Mother Earth, being in the literal ground.
Yeah.
Being alive. It goes from being in the ground to being frozen. How long would you say it's not attached to the, like it's
30
dead?
minutes at most. Second we cut this, we basically throw it in bins and then immediately throw it in the freezer. And then from there, get it into the plucking machine, circular pucks, and it makes it so we can mix match strains too. Like if we're making pineapple upside down cake, we can take pineapple express and ice cream cake and mix.
What it reminds me of, and I don't know if this is the best thing for it to remind me of, it reminds me of them like catching king crab.
Deadliest catch?
Deadliest catch, dude. It's like deadliest catch, where they freeze the crab right out there on the freaking open water in the ocean, right, to make sure that shit's fresh. Some sort of fancy sashimi tuna that they catch out on the ocean, get it out in an airplane, then fly that shit to like a 5-star restaurant in Tokyo. Oh no, I should stop yapping and start moving. It's cold.
So it'll get down to, on the automatic mode, it gets down to -40 and it turns off the chiller.
So literally, like, this stuff goes from being alive and in the ground. 10 minutes later, it's frozen, and it never stops being frozen until it's ready to be put in a vapor. Well, yeah, I know there's a couple other processes, but
until
pretty much almost.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Frozen until extracted. Trichomes aren't falling off. The plant's not dying. It's not losing its life essence. It's frozen until it's ready to be delivered to the good boys and girls of the PNW. The farm ain't up here where we do all this stuff, so Jason himself drives the freezer truck up here.
Rocking the freezer truck.
Me and Jason just shoved them in the bags, rushed over super quick, still frozen the entire time, right across the parking lot and into this machine right here to continue being frozen. If you count being frozen as suspended animation, by the time you get it, that plant's only been disconnected from the ground for 10 minutes. Maybe that doesn't matter to you, but if you've never eaten scallop ceviche on the side of the boat after pulling them out of the river, then you don't understand.
Like you can see it already crashing in here, which means it's already crystallizing, big diamond structure. I mean, you can see it even floating on top, all those crystals already starting. This was just for today.
It made the whole room smell the second you took it out.
Right? This is the best stuff I think we've made prior ever. And there's a pretty clear difference.
Yeah, and this is the stuff that just came out yesterday.
Yes.
And this is like compared to these guys, which are still amazing.
Yeah,
all this stuff is amazing.
Freaking amazing. These are
just
all
like
live.
never stop innovating, man. Never stop getting better until you hit a ceiling, but there hasn't been one yet. You can see like the gradient of colors all the way down here. And then up to these right now. That's just wild, dude.
These are really amazing. These turned out just incredible.
Back with the struggle bus, the big red RV, and back with the big red Cadillac. And much to the delight of my neighbors here at Sunnyvale, I've decided to cut through the Gordian knot. They were pretty tired of listening to me try to tune a carburetor that has the seat of every single adjustment screw like wore the freak out. So let's see if this works and maybe makes their mornings a little easier. I mean, mine too, but mainly theirs. Definitely working with limited tools and resources here, and the sun goes down around 5 o'clock this time of year in Portland. Gone are the 75-degree days that I was enjoying earlier, and in their place is what I'm dealing with right now. I don't want to rush myself and fuck something up, but swapping a carburetor shouldn't be something that I have to worry about fucking up too bad. That should be pretty straightforward, I say, hopefully. So very hopefully. Hey, bolt wasn't even tight. Probably not good for it. Fuel line, hopefully that lines up with the new carb. There's a lot of stuff on here that's pretty dang loose, man. I'm glad I'm putting my grubby little dick beaters all over it.
carburetor gasket that seems as though it's made out of a cereal box, which again is not that weird for something from this vintage, this old Scout. Some of the old Harley-Davidson gaskets from the AMF era definitely look like they're made out of cereal boxes. Ask Joe the Mountain Jedi about that one. Fingers crossed, man. I've had luck with Chinese carbs for Harley-Davidsons and Hondas and dirt bikes and all sorts of stuff like that, but never used a knockoff carb for an actual car. I'm very curious to see if this thing actually runs the vehicle or not. Supposedly, from the good reviews, they weren't all good, but from the good reviews, of which there was several, and you can tell they were written by real people, not bots. And I found this with Chinese carbs before for motorcycles, is you don't even have to freaking adjust them, dude. You literally put them on and you fire it up and it's ready to go. I've gotten lucky several times. You can ask Joe. Joe's gotten lucky before. Sometimes it just happens, dude. Carburetor on Barnacle Boy was one of the lucky ones. It was a S&S clone that literally went right on that sucker, fired right up. Didn't even need to have the idle adjusted. Pretty wild. Moment of truth, boys. Will it fire right up without any tuning? The Dong Fang, or I actually forget what it's called. Dong Fang's as good a name as any though. Look at that. It's not the first time I've had this happen with a Chinese carb that I've thrown it on an engine and it's literally started right up. Now, starting right up, running, driving, and making power are two different things, so let's take it for a little spin and see how good it actually is. And hopefully this thing doesn't leave me stranded because it wouldn't be fun to push. Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a runner, baby. Dude, this thing freaking rocks, man. Oh, gotta be kind of careful. The steering's a little loosey-goosey, but baby, that carburetor just solved everything that ailed it. Literally needs nothing. Well, some idle adjustment, but I just had it up to about 60 miles an hour and it ran fine. Obviously needs a kick-down cable because I'm having to shift it manually to get it to hold gears. Dude, we're ready to take this sucker to Moab. Come on. It always feels good when it works out. We got lots more adventures planned with the four-wheel drive Caddy with ice cream paint jobs, so stay tuned for those, and lots of cool stuff coming from Sessions. That's gonna about do it for this one, y'all. Till next time, keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade Tree, army. Shade Tree, army. They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high.
Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.